This one comes from Brother Varga, number 480. So here's my story. I'm 34 from Wales. I am autistic dyslexic, and I have learning difficulties. I was in around 11-year relationship. I met my ex on POF when I was 23. We moved in together within a few months. We lived in a shared house with 3 or 4 random people. Around a year and a half in, her nana got ill, and my ex wanted to move closer to her family. Not long after, her nan died. Up until we moved, she was quite a sweet, caring person. I missed the first red flag when she moved our, quote unquote, our money into her bank account.
Oh, shit.
Yikes.
Here we go.
There is a whole other story about money, but that's not why I'm telling you my story. Just know I had 30 pounds a week to live off of. It's not much.
That's not, yeah.
So within 6 months of moving to her hometown, she started showing her true colors. She cut me off from my family and friends, took my phone away, and then the abuse started. Can't go into much detail right now because of the situation I'm currently in. I will explain in the end, but we'll give the general idea. Over the next 9 years, I was subjected to financial, verbal, and psychological abuse around how I struggled with daily life and with my autistic traits. It was all weaponized against me. Nothing I did was good enough, and I basically became a slave. I would have left if I could, but I will get to that now. Besides those things I just mentioned, my ex also started graping me. First time it happened, I tried to stop it. At the time, I weighed 22 and a half stone, or 315 pounds. She was close to 30 stone, 400 pounds.
Wow.
Maybe more. After she finished, she says if I told anyone, no one would believe me, and she'd go to the police and say that I graped her. That's usually how it goes. A month later, she said, I looked upset, so I confronted her about what happened. She apologized and said she got carried away and going to the police was a joke. She said she'd made it up to me with a mouth hug, so I stupidly agreed. After the mouth hug, she graped me again and said the same thing. Tell anyone, and she'll just accuse me. I had pretty much died inside. I was trapped with her for 9 more years.
God damn.
She pretty much did what she pleased and used me whenever she wanted, and I just had to put up with the abuse. I stopped showering, eating, and sleeping. Yikes.
Wow.
Fast forward to November 22nd. I had enough of the treatment, and I was getting and finally split up. At this time, we were renting a house association with both of us on tenancy. Within 24 hours, she was with one of her male friends. This guy turned out to be the guy she always wanted to be with before we met. She only got with me because she couldn't be with him. The guy is 5'5", skinny, and a yes ma'am. Pretty much a beta soy boy. I think she wanted a kid with me, and then to get with him. After she tried to get pregnant with me for years, it just didn't happen. Thank God.
Oh my God. Well, it probably didn't happen because she's so goddamn fat.
Yeah.
Like, these women don't understand. When you're that heavy, it fucks your hormones up. And a lot of times they're infertile and they don't even know it.
Yep. I think I'm either firing blanks or she's just too big to get pregnant.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, back to the story. They were saying, I love you within a week and planning a baby and marriage within a month after me and her split. So for the next 6 months, I'm looking to move out. She tried to get me to sign my rights away for the joint tenancy by saying the housing association will rehouse me. Turns out they don't. I have a support worker by this point, and they said, sign nothing, keep looking on the housing site for a new place.
That's right. Don't sign shit.
Alrighty, going forward to May 2023. My ex rang the police and accused me of controlling the money, threatening her with an air rifle and grape. So I get forced out of my home where we lived in separate rooms for the last 6 months. She got tired. It was taking too long for me to move out, and she wanted her boyfriend to be able to come over. She had been spending 5 days a week at his place for 6 months, but now I had to go. The grape she accused me of was apparently going on the whole relationship up 2 years before we split. She said it was going on when she was sleeping, but the truth is she graped me when I was awake and when sleeping. But the sleeping was put down to sex in our sleep. I sleepwalk in general, and it was a non-issue. Hindsight is 2020, after all. This is explained after the fact. At the time, I believe it was just sex in our sleep. It was not an issue for her when we were together, but magically became one now that we split up 6 months later. Shocker. So now I'm on bail, waiting to see if her claims go to court. The police from day one have done nothing but lie and try and screw me over.
Yep.
Shocker again.
Yep.
They sent an extension letter to me with a 5-day notice to add more evidence. I got a letter 2 weeks late. It was dated for August 9th, and I got it August 23rd. So I missed the window, probably by design. The police took my phone, my knife collection, and air rifle. I had knives and air rifles since I was 8 years old. My ex knew I had this hobby before we met. Now she claims she always was scared of them in the flat. I have no history of violence, no history of anything bad at all, but I'm treated like a violent criminal. Anyway, my bail is now extended to December 21st. They waited 3 months before they even started looking into my case. Notes, my ex has bipolar disorder, is narcissistic. She has HPV, VD, and countless yeast infections, among other things, while we were together.
That's bad.
That's really bad.
Well, here, usually when a woman gets yeast infections on the regular, somebody else is dumping DNA in that crevasse. Just so you know.
Ugh. Yummy. Sourdough bread, anyone? Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. All right, where was that here? She has been cheating on me since day one. She has about 12 male friends that she used to bang before we met. During our relationship, I was never allowed to go out or talk to anyone, so she didn't get them from me. Her new guy is one of these male friends. Nice.
Yep.
There's a lot more to this story, but I can't go into it right now. If you're interested in the rest, I will write the rest after my case is sorted, assuming I don't go to jail. Wish me luck.
Well, I hope you don't go to jail.
Good luck, brother.
England, listen, England is really effed up. I mean, it's effed up here in America, but it's even worse over there, and it's probably a close second to Australia, because I hear all kinds of horror stories from men down there, and I even have a couple guys from Spain who, basically one guy was the equivalent of a physician assistant, thrown out of his house, forced to pay for the house that he didn't live in. It took 2 years for it to work through the courts, and with no evidence, anything, he was found guilty, but they downplayed it where he had to pay this just egregious fine. And, the guy's out there flapping because of these false accusation bullshit. It happened. Still, we got that one guy who was a guest on the show still in jail from that bullshit. Now, he was tried on 4 counts of bullshit. He was found guilty on 2, but the judge wouldn't allow him to introduce video evidence for his self-defense. Basically railroaded him, so now he has to go through the whole appeal process. And all I could say is, it's going to get to a point, if it gets bad enough, where, people are just going to get justice outside the courts. And I don't want to see that happen, but I could feel it coming. There's a lot of people out there who are getting sick of this shit. So it is what it is.
It is not going to be pretty.
No. And I don't know. I mean, I've had quite a few interactions with the police, and typically I've always, been respectful. I didn't get out of pocket. I obeyed their instructions. When they asked for my ID, I gave it to them. And for the most part, I've done okay. There's been 2 different occasions I've had detectives call me and want to talk to me, about some bullshit that went on with my ex-wife and her living arrangements, that which I was not even involved in. It was just, I was suspected of doing this. And I literally I told the detectives, I'm like, if you're going to charge me, okay, just let me know. I will come turn myself in. But this is an adversarial relationship. I hold you guys in the highest regards, but I understand that any further communication is going to have to take place between you and my attorney. And I pretty much shut it down. Through the grapevine, I heard that my ex-wife's garage got broken into, and they suspected it was me. And this was like 10 years after the divorce was finalized, and actually 8 years after it was finalized. And I'm like, it's been 8 years. There's been no static at all. This is ridiculous. Yep. But, I understand how the process of, how it works here in the States. The best thing you could do is, if the police call you, is just shut your mouth. It is what it is. Yep. All right, let's bring on.
We'll just finish this out. Just got a few more lines here.
Okay. It
says, now I got my own place and trying to start a new life. This may not last if my ex wins. I'm struggling with not ending everything from the trauma of the abuse. And now with the threat of imprisonment, I'm waiting to get therapy. But there is a waiting list. So for now, I drink myself to sleep, and I thank my family for the support. Thank you for listening to my story. Brother Varga.
Hey, Varga. Don't feel bad about drinking yourself to sleep, because I've been doing it since 2004. All right. There's no shame in that. You do what you got to do. Yep. All right. Now, in regards to trying to get therapy, I understand there's probably a queue. That's what they call it over there in England land. But we have like 1,100 videos on virtually every subject there is in regards to male-female relations. Finding your purpose, fighting against hopelessness. Just, watch the library, get a few laughs out of it. And if you got a drink while watching it, by all means, do so. But listen, I've made a video called Testicular Redonculitis, where a lot of these controlling women do exactly what happened to you. It's a blueprint for a narcissistic sociopath. Right now, hopefully this will not happen to you again in the future. I think that one of the reasons that it did happen is because you are a high-functioning Asperger's individual. A lot of the social cues that normal people deal with, see, and react to instinctively, you guys have to learn that. And if you aren't taught that at a proper time, it actually has very negative ramifications on your life moving forward. All right. Now, I am probably going to bet on the side that this is going to get, you'll probably get a slap on the wrist. My advice to you is don't do the woman thing again, especially with a 400-pound Wamalo Ditchpig from England. Don't do that.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.